The greatest strength a man can ever possess is not control over others. It is not dominance in arguments, nor superiority in wealth or social status. True power, the kind that cannot be taken away, lies in one thing alone: complete mastery over oneself. Why is this the highest form of power? Because life will test you. The world will not move according to your will. People will challenge you, insult you, reject you, and attempt to manipulate your emotions. Unexpected setbacks will arise. Dreams may shatter overnight. And in those moments, the way you respond will determine everything. If you react impulsively, if you let anger or fear take hold of you, you hand over your power to external forces. Take a look around. Weak men are ruled by their impulses. They lash out when criticized. They break down in the face of rejection. They waste their energy chasing temporary pleasures, falling into distractions that drain them of their true potential. And worst of all, they allow others to dictate how they feel. But there is another kind of man, a rare kind, a man who is unshaken, a man who remains calm while others panic, who does not allow external chaos to disturb his inner peace. He is not emotionless, he simply refuses to be a slave to emotion. He does not suppress his feelings, he masters them. This is the man who cannot be manipulated. He does not react to petty drama. He does not seek validation. He does not crumble when things go wrong. He operates on a higher plane, a place where his mind is disciplined and his soul remains untouchable. The ancient wisdom of self-mastery. Centuries ago, the Stoics understood this truth. They knew that emotional control was the foundation of strength. One of the great Stoic philosophers, Epictetus, once said, "You become what you give your attention to. If you don't control your thoughts, someone else will." Think about that for a moment. If you allow anger, fear, or anxiety to consume you, you are no longer in control of yourself. You are being controlled, either by circumstances or by the influence of others. And this is exactly why so many people live in a constant state of suffering. But the man who practices detachment, the man who does not react mindlessly, is the one who holds true power. Detachment is not indifference. It is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it is the highest form of strength, because when you remain steady while the world crumbles around you, when you refuse to be pulled into meaningless battles, you become unbreakable. And this principle applies to every area of life. In relationships, a man who is too emotionally reactive loses the respect of his partner. In business, a man who makes impulsive decisions will soon destroy everything he has built. In personal growth, a man who cannot control himself will never evolve into the person he is meant to be. A life of true freedom begins. Here today, I'm going to show you how to develop unshakable emotional control. I will take you through the lessons of the Stoics, real-life historical examples, and powerful insights that will change the way you think, act, and respond to the world around you. But before we begin, I want you to pause for a moment. If you are ready to master the art of being truly unbothered, if you are ready to become the kind of man who is untouchable in the face of adversity, then I want you to take a moment right now to like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Type the words, "I choose peace." Because by the end of this, you will no longer be a prisoner of your emotions. You will no longer be controlled by the opinions of others. Instead, you will walk away with the mindset of a man who is truly free. Now let's begin. 1. The art of emotional control. Mastering the storm. Within the greatest battles in life are not fought with words or weapons. They are fought within the mind. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you face a test. One that determines the kind of man you will become. A test of your patience, a test of your discipline, a test of your emotional control. Most men fail this test. They react instead of respond. They allow their emotions to dictate their actions. unaware that in doing so they are surrendering control, not to an external enemy, but to their own weaknesses. But the man who understands the power of self-mastery operates differently. He knows that. He is not his emotions. He is the observer of his emotions. He alone decides what affects him and what does not. This mindset is what separates those who are easily broken from those who are truly unshakable. It is not about suppressing emotions. It is about mastering them. A lesson from history. Emperor Hadrian's mastery over emotion. To understand this principle in action, consider the example of Emperor Hadrian, one of Rome's greatest rulers. Hadrian controlled one of the most powerful empires in history. He commanded armies, managed political conflicts, and faced constant threats of betrayal and rebellion. Yet despite all this, he never allowed his emotions to rule him. When confronted with betrayal, he did not explode in rage. He did not make impulsive decisions based on pride or vengeance. Instead, he remained calm. He observed the situation, and then, with calculated precision, he responded, not emotionally, but strategically. This is what separates great men from ordinary men. A weak man is controlled by his emotions. A strong man controls them. How emotional control affects your relationships. If you look around, you will see that most men lose their power in relationships because they fail this test. Their emotions control them rather than the other way around. A woman pulls away and he panics. She doesn't text back and he overthinks. She tests him and he reacts emotionally. These are all signs of weakness, not because emotions are bad, but because a man who is ruled by them becomes unstable, needy, and reactive. And nothing repels attraction faster than instability. A man who masters himself operates from a place of abundance, not desperation. If she walks away, he lets her. If she plays games, he refuses to engage. If she challenges him emotionally, he remains steady, unshaken, because he understands one fundamental truth. True power lies in self-control, not in controlling others. When you refuse to be emotionally manipulated, you become unpredictable, mysterious, and powerful. And this, ironically, makes you far more attractive. The pause method, a simple strategy to master your emotions. So how can you apply this in your own life? How do you start becoming the kind of man who remains in control, no matter what happens around him? One of the simplest but most effective techniques is called the pause method. Whenever you feel anger, irritation, or frustration rising within you, do the following. 1. Stop. Take a deep breath. Before saying or doing anything, force yourself to pause. 2. Observe. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will this matter in a week, a month, or a year? 3. Decide. Instead of reacting emotionally, respond logically and with intention. This small habit alone will change the way you handle conflicts, relationships, and life itself. And when you master this, you become the kind of man who cannot be shaken, no matter what storms come your way. 2. Detachment is not indifference, it's power. There is a common misunderstanding about detachment. Many people assume that being unbothered means not caring at all, as if true strength comes from shutting off emotions completely. This is false. A Stoic man still cares, he still feels, he still experiences the highs and lows of life. But the difference is this: he does not allow his emotions to dictate his actions. Detachment is not about indifference, it is about control. A man who is truly detached does not suppress his emotions, he masters them. He does not avoid relationships or challenges, he engages with them without attachment to the outcome. And because of this, he remains unshaken. The root of most suffering, your own mind. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about that for a moment. Most of the suffering you experience does not come from the actual events in your life. It comes from your thoughts about those events. You create pain in your mind by overanalyzing situations, obsessing over what people think, and stressing over things you cannot control. Look at how much energy men waste in relationships alone, obsessing over whether she likes them or not, replaying past conversations in their head, wondering what they could have said differently, getting emotional over things that do not deserve their time or energy. An unbothered man does not live in this mental prison. He refuses to let external situations steal his peace. He understands that his emotions are his responsibility, not hers, not society's, not anyone else's. And because of this, he is free. The secret of powerful men. Powerful men do not chase validation. They do not beg for attention. They do not allow the opinions of others to control their emotions. Why? Because they understand a fundamental truth. Their strength comes from within. A lion does not react to the barking of dogs. A king does not waste his time responding to every insult. A great man does not feel the need to prove himself to those who do not matter. This is detachment. Not indifference, but powerful self-control. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop over-caring about things that do not deserve your energy. Practical step. The 3-second rule. So how do you develop this kind of control in your daily life? One simple technique is the 3-second rule. Whenever something triggers an emotional reaction within you, whether it's a comment, a message, or an event, do this. 1. Pause for 3 seconds. 2. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? 3. If it still matters after 3 seconds, respond calmly. If not, let it go. At first, this will be difficult. Your emotions will push you to react instantly, but with time, this habit will become second nature. And once you master this, nothing will ever shake your peace again. 3. Walking away is strength, not weakness. A truly unbothered man understands a simple but powerful truth. Knowing when to walk away is an act of strength, not weakness. Weak men cling to things that drain them. They stay in toxic relationships, waste time on pointless arguments, and exhaust themselves trying to fix what is beyond repair. But a strong man, one who values his peace, knows that not every battle is worth fighting. A lesson from the greatest samurai. The legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi, widely regarded as the greatest swordsman in history, lived by a simple rule. Never fight a battle unless it is necessary. Musashi fought over 60 duels in his lifetime, many to the death. But despite his unmatched skill, he never wasted energy on unnecessary conflicts. He understood that true power lies in restraint, not recklessness. This same principle applies to life. Most men fail because they do not know which battles are worth their time and which ones they should walk away from. Think about how much energy men waste, arguing with people who don't deserve their time, trying to fix relationships that are already broken, forcing connections that no longer serve them. All of this stems from emotional attachment, an inability to let go of things that do not align with their purpose. Why walking away is the ultimate power move. A man who values his peace does not engage in meaningless battles. He understands that his energy is his greatest asset, and he refuses to waste it. If a situation no longer brings you peace, leave. If a relationship is filled with drama, walk away. If someone constantly disrespects you, cut them off. But here's the key, not out of anger, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Walking away is not about proving a point to others. It is about proving a point to yourself. that you are disciplined enough to remove yourself from anything that threatens your peace. And once you master this mindset, you will stop chasing, stop forcing, and stop seeking validation from people who do not deserve you, because a powerful man does not beg for his place in anyone's life. 4. Becoming truly untouchable. True power does not come from status, wealth, or dominance over others. It comes from a deeper source, the unshakable knowledge that nothing outside of you can control you. Most men live as prisoners of their emotions. They allow words, situations, and other people's opinions to dictate how they feel. They react instead of respond. They let external forces control their inner world. But a man who has mastered himself, he is untouchable. The 7-day challenge, reclaiming your power. For the next 7 days, I challenge you to test yourself. Do not react impulsively. No matter what happens, pause before you respond. Let logic, not emotion, guide your actions. Do not engage in meaningless arguments. If a discussion is going nowhere, walk away. Your energy is too valuable to waste. Do not let anyone control your emotions. Whether it's a relationship, a rude comment, or a setback, remain unshaken. If you can master these 3 things, you will begin to see a transformation. You will notice how much power you gain simply by refusing to give your energy to things that do not serve you. This is what separates average men from great men. The ability to remain calm, focused, and in control, no matter what happens around you. The path to mastery. If you found this valuable, like, share, and subscribe. And before you go, drop a comment below. I choose peace. Because at the end of the day, your greatest strength is not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. Stay strong. Stay unbothered. Stay in control.